Can you get say name 3 times?
说你的名字3遍。Hippie. When I first started learning Chinese, it was through a similar student exchange program. So it was similar to how it's run over here. We'd have Chinese students come over to the UK, they'd stay in our houses, and vice versa. And I think it was more about sort of raising cultural awareness, letting us know that, you know, there are different ways of doing things and different ways of living, and exposing children to that at a young age, I think it's really important.
感受到它这里面呢有一个主要途径，这很好，就是说五共同的途径，就是中国跟英国的中英学生共同就是同住、同吃、同玩、同上课、同研学、研究、探讨、学习，叫五共同。
I think that exchange projects bring enormous benefit. I think the schools involved get a chance to share ideas, come together and look at the different systems that operate within different countries, and there's a lot to be learnt from that. And on top of that, maybe even more importantly on a human level, all of the people involved in the exchange grow because the young people get lifelong friendships out of it, they get more socially aware, and I think the adults as well benefit from seeing the young people grow in that fashion.
So over the next 5 days, the Chinese children will be coming over, living and studying with their English counterparts.
I'm a firm believer of people-to-people diplomacy, and in my role as working for the Confucius Institute, our remit is to promote cultural understanding between, well, in our case, between the people in Britain and people in China. And I think the most effective way is by visiting each other's country and living with the local people there.
大家好，我叫郑浩婷，我的英文名字叫 Hebe。我喜欢舞蹈，也喜欢画画，更喜欢唱歌。好。
你来英国之前，以为英国是个什么样的地方？
比较冷清吧，清冷吧那种，然后感觉就是让人不寒而栗。 老师上课总是严肃，不带任何表情，然后说话一旦不合心意就会骂人那种。
那实际上是这样子吗
？No， 不是，他觉得他们特别的平易近人。每当你不会的时候，他总会过来，亲切地问一句：“有什么需要帮忙吗？”之类的。
我以为英国就是那种每天都下雨的地方，然后他们的建筑也和我们非常的不同。
那实际上是这样子。
是的，
一样的。
我叫陈书豪，我的英文名叫 Harry， 我今年16岁了，我来自福建福州的一所叫做18中的中学。
孩子们来到英国，异国他乡，虽然时间短，但是一个陌生的环境，一个陌生的语言，完全能够培养他们的独立性，增强他们的这个自信。因为他们住寄宿家庭是不得不说英语的嘛。 也不得不自己动脑子想想怎么去克服，生活里他们原本觉得理所当然的一些小事情，因为他们这个时候已经离开了我们这些老师的怀抱，也离开了我们家长，离开了他们家长的怀抱。
我觉得英国是一个很绅士的国家，然后呢，和中国有很多不同的地方。
比如说，
文化方面，然后呢，还有他们的礼仪方面，会比我们 更懂得注意场合。
I think in this day and age, in the 21st century, it's really important to meet people from different backgrounds, different cultures and different nationalities, and that was the main reason why I did get involved in this exchange. I think in years to come, some of our children could end up working in places like, you know, China or Japan or the Middle East, and I think for them to get that experience at this age is really, really beneficial. I think it's really important that they have a cultural awareness of people from other religions, other faiths, other backgrounds, and to be able to accept that. And I think it really does promote community cohesion, and it minimises discrimination, and I think that's really important.
With school exchanges, the way we do it, we're encouraging the schools to do, is actually opening up your school when you have exchange visit students. They come and shadow your school, your pupils in different classes. We encourage them to provide homestays. So the visiting children actually stay with the host schools families, and I think it provides a more intimate way of understanding the way people live their life locally.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Amy, and my Chinese name is Chen Leyi. I study in number 16 middle school, and I like to play basketball and play Chinese flute. I have so many friends like Beth and Michael. That's okay?
This is your room, Amy? Yes. Hope it's big enough. So beautiful. I like it. Yes. And we've tried to do a welcome. Welcome, Amy. Good. And this is a little gift for you from the family.
Thank you.
Okay. I like it. What is it? You look when you're ready.
My name is Mary Wilson. I'm the mother of Beth Wilson in Year 9, and we are hosting Amy. I also have a son, Michael, in Year 7 at St. Bede's. Amy, she's a pleasure. She's a delightful young person to have in the home. She's fitted in brilliant. The language isn't a barrier. There are times when we sort of have to rephrase things, which is normal, but she's fitted in lovely with her home, and I'm hoping that she's happy where she is and enjoying her stay with us.
We've written in the Chinese. Can you?
Okay, I can. Thanks, Liz.
Okay. That's just to make yourself at home.
Yes.
It's your home for the week as well as our home.
Yes, I'm looking forward.
Good, good. We're looking forward to having you for the week.
Yes.
Did you have English food or Chinese food in London? Chinese food in London?
Yes.
English food?
Yes.
Okay. Did you enjoy the English food?
Yes, I think it's delicious.
Okay.
Like a treat.
Did you have anything in particular you like? Fish and chips? Did you have fish and chips?
No, but I see it in the book.
In the book?
Yes.
Okay. It's traditional on a Friday. Fish and chips.
We have it in school
on Friday.
So everything I've prepared and put before her to eat, she's enjoyed, and I've not had to make alternative arrangements or anything. And I'm quite a traditional cooker, so it's good wholesome food that I've prepared, and she's enjoyed all of it so far.
对我很好，他经常问我，Are you okay? Do you have a good day? 类似这样的问题，所以我特别喜欢 Beth 的妈妈。
Wow. Nice. Good.
I think Hebe's settled into the exchange programme quite well. She's not confident speaking English. I think she probably knows a little bit more English than she's confident in using. So there's a language barrier. She's taken on lots of our English ways quite well. You can tell some of it's quite awkward for her, but I do think she's trying to get as much from the experience as possible, and she She's quite happy to go along with the things that we offer her and try different foods and communicate the best way that she can, and the girls, I think, are also trying to do the same. Yeah, it's a good view, and there as well. Then you can go inside. Go on, Molly.
Wow. Then you can see out the front.
Yes, I like.
You like?
Yes.
Oh, good. So we want to show her things that are sort of quintessentially English. We want to take her to a historic house, tea rooms, but also we want to take her to places, you know, that our children of the same age would ordinarily go to. So to go ice skating and to the laser tag. So we've got a busy week.
那么说到寄宿家庭，英国家长晚上组织的活动也丰富多彩，不是去海边，那可能是去骑马，不是去滑冰，那可能是到山区骑单车，或者是远足这类的户外活动。那么我觉得这种深层文化的融入，还有就是寄宿家庭给予的温暖，在我眼里才叫真正的跨国交流。那你来说一下你的那个寄宿家庭吧。
我的寄宿家庭啊，他们的家长非常的友好，对我非常好，而且非常照顾我。
那你这几天能说一下去哪里玩了吗？
上周天我去了利物浦的安菲尔德球场，看了一场球赛。
看了球赛？
对。
哦，赢了吗？
赢了，3-2。
3-2。
I think we're well matched due to like football and we're both very mature and stuff like that.
When Harry sent over his profile, we could see that both Harry and Tom matched in terms of sports and what they like to do. They both like their football, and from what I've heard from Tom's mum as well, is they both like their food as well.
When we had communication from Amy, a lot of their hobbies and things they like to do in spare time was very similar. So they had a lot of common factors to begin with, which is a good basis for a friendship to develop and grow.
When we got the profiles of the students, we did look at their likes, their dislikes, and whether or not the two students would actually get on during the week. But initially, it was a coincidence when we first matched them up.
Probably one of my favourite subjects is history, because I just like looking back on heritage and stuff like that.
历史就像一个故事一样，我们可以知道从前有什么发生过什么事情。
I think the students have been matched actually quite perfectly. When we were sort of matching them up, me and Miss Kelly, we went back and looked at, obviously wanted them to go into the same age group, same year group in school. And when our children sent over the student profiles from China, we could see that at least probably 80% of them matched in terms of their hobbies, the food they like to eat, all of those things they matched up. So it was a perfect match.
I've got a dog called Sully, which we got 2 years ago. He's quite funny sometimes, he's quite lively. On Christmas he decided to sit at the dinner table on one of the chairs because he thought he was going to have Christmas dinner.
I think Haby was a little bit dubious about Sully at first. She's got a dog at home, but I think Sully's quite a different temperament perhaps to her dog, which seems a lot smaller. So she's just a little wary around him, but I think she finds him quite funny.
那能说一下你觉得你的英国伙伴他人怎么样？
我觉得特别好，因为到了他那边之后，我第一次去的时候晕车，然后他就给我买水，又是那样给我太阳穴，然后那样子，我觉得特别好。
爱好会不会跟你的英国伙伴一样？
是的，全部都喜欢，他们全都喜欢。 Isabel 她为人大方亲切，当她生气的时候，她不会说出来，她会在心里默默的就是那样自己憋着，她就不想让旁边人怎么讲，对，影响受那种她情绪影响，然后变得不快乐，她不会。Molly 的话，她比较直率，说话也很厉害那种，然后就是他说话就感觉像是那种，也不说他说话，就是说他为人特别的亲切，也特别的和蔼，但是他会耍一些小性子，就是但是也觉得他很可爱，对。
She's really friendly, but she can't speak English, so we can't really speak to her. We've taught her some English, and she's taught us some Chinese, but we just have to use Google Translate.
It's been a bit difficult at times because she's been going in the wrong direction when we're meant to be going in the other direction. But it's been quite interesting and quite funny at times to see what she'll do.
How did you find performing in front of all the students?
It was quite nice because it's given them something to remember from, and it's nice for a welcome.
那说到学校就更搞笑，因为一般来讲，第一天到了下午3点钟，学校铃声一响起，10个学生里面至少有7、8个会兴冲冲地跑过来跟我说：“哎呀，老师，我们听不懂怎么办？老师好尴尬呀，我们寄宿家庭，我不知道跟他们说什么呀。”这个时候我只会轻轻地回他们一句，我就说：“我们都是从听不懂开始的，我们要继续加油。”那我说完这句话以后呢，他们所有孩子都一脸个囧字，都不知道如何回应。你这次来英国是想要有什么样的收获呢？
想了解他们这边的教学制度，跟国内的比较。
教学方法国内的话是，老师上课，然后呢没有配上那种实践，然后呢国外的老师他们就是有配上一些实践的活动，然后呢可以让同学们之间更有交流。
觉得他们说话都生硬，不带有任何感情，但是来到这里我发现他们说话非常的温顺，和善。
there's a view of Catholic education that it can be quite narrow, that it's schools full of a monoculture of children that only know about the Catholic faith, that are predominantly white, and we kind of fit that bill here in West Lancashire. So for us as a school, I think it's broadened our horizons. It's given us a chance to see the inner workings of a different culture and to embrace that. And the young people, of course, will be able to spread that message to the fellow pupils, and they'll be able to tell them about the enormous benefits of having hosted one of the children.
Joe, give it to me! Joe, you've got to pass it to me!
在英国，老师就像一个朋友一样，他会让你在一些实验中明白学习的，明白你要做的这个实验的结论，然后从中去学习。在国内呢，就是老师告诉你这个结论，你就要掌握它。
From what I can gather, it's very rigorous. The children at school for long hours. A lot of importance is put on education and getting a good education. From what I know, the parents push the children a lot, and they, to achieve very well at school, as do we.
I think traditionally China has always paid a lot of attention to education because we believe education is one of the sure way of social mobility. I mean, in both countries now, we talk a lot about encouraging social mobility, and the Chinese believe through education, that's how you make your future.
那你觉得国内老师的教学方法，他们有什么他们的好的地方在哪？
他们难度比较高，然后呢，然后我们掌握的知识会更丰富一点，更全面一些。
那你觉得整体来说，这边的数学会比国内的简单？会是吧？会。
It's one of the Catholic traditions, one of the traditions that lies at the heart of the Catholic faith is that outreach should be part of our mission, that we look to embrace other cultures, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to kind of raise our eyes upwards and outside of our maybe narrow borders and look further afield to get that experience of being in an international sphere.
通过这五共同，他们呢，整个进行的游学活动呢，使整个活动内容呢，十分的丰富，涉及的方方面面，包括了生活的基本技能和常识，也包括人文道德，以及中西文化的差距，他们都进行了很多的碰撞沟通，内容非常丰富。
那音乐课呢？音乐课是什么样的事情？
音乐课是我们那个老师给我们每个人发了一个尤克里里，让我们去看着一个视频去学它。
哦，学的怎么样？
学的还可以吧。
It's interesting to see the differences in school, like where they're asking Harry questions about his own school and stuff.
The benefit of the English education system is the fact that children hopefully will get a breadth of education, that children will become, it's more to develop a whole child rather than just focusing on academic achievement, so that children will get to develop emotionally and socially and creatively, as well as just that academic, the focus on English, maths, science.
那你将来想做什么工作？
我想当一个翻译。
想做翻译？是的。英翻中，中翻英。
中翻德。
中翻德，是的。为什么想做翻译？
因为我喜欢语言。
你将来有没有想过将来想做什么工作？
我想做外交官。
想做外交官？为什么？是因为英语比较好吗？
因为我比较喜欢学习语言这门学科。
学一门语言可以在这种语言中找到一种不同的文化，得到一种不同的感觉。
I can see the difference in the UK classrooms. things is a lot more lively and there's a lot more interaction, while the Chinese seem to be sort of more disciplined and regulated. However, at the end of a week or 2 weeks, and if you ask the children how many words or how many things you can do, I sometimes feel that the Chinese way of learning is more solid. You could more or less be sure that I've covered these grammar points, I've covered all this vocabulary. They have all those things in their head already. While the UK children of learning the Chinese, very often we find they haven't grasped as much content as we would do in the Chinese system. However, for the English children, the smaller amount of materials that they have learned, the language patterns, vocabulary, they can use it more lively, while the Chinese students tend to struggle a bit, even though they've got a lot in their head. So that's why I keep thinking the best way is to learn from each other, to find the best compromise and the best way of utilizing two different ways of teaching and learning.
有没有想好将来想做什么样的工作？
这个暂时还没有，不过我更希望是向于舞蹈方面。
Because not all children are academic, so they need to be confident to be able to get on in life with the skills that aren't perhaps traditionally those that are pushed in school.
It's important for our kids at a young age to be exposed, to know that there are different ways of doing things, and to learn about how other cultures do things. I think it's really important for them to have that understanding at a young age.
Chinese New Year is the most important holiday, a festival in China, and so we really take this opportunity to share various different aspects of Chinese culture to the local people here.
Now the first show is lion dance. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, please welcome.
Students learned the lion dance movements and they gave the performance there, because lion is sort of a symbol of power, of good luck. Of red, obviously, is a very auspicious color. The color yellow, golden color, sort of there's that royal family link, sort of a very grand celebration as well. This particular show specializes in puppets, and there are many different types of puppets in China. The Cantonese style, they tend to have the puppets on a very long stick, and the puppeteer will have to manipulate the puppets in a very artistic way, and I think it's just beautiful. We can see the bond between the puppeteer and his puppets. Wonderful, wonderful to look at.
That's actually a good tactic. 看到是前几天你在 Thomas 他家里面玩那个家庭游戏，能说一说你们玩的是什么游戏吗？
我们玩2个游戏，一个叫做 Twister。Twister
是什么？怎么玩？
就是有点类似是你们在一个地毯上面，然后那个地毯上面有很多不同颜色的圆形的点，然后还有一个转盘，转盘上的指针指到哪里？比如说指到了一个。
那你输了吗？还是赢了？
我输了。
你输了。
还有个游戏的名字我不知道叫什么，就是然后去按那些去有2个人把脸放在那个架子上，一个人把手放在一个按钮上，开始了以后就开始按那个按钮。
Ready, 3, 2, 1.
那他当人上了吗？
是啊。
很多次吗？
好多次。
I think probably the most essential part of the entire experience is spending time with your host families, because it's not so much about learning English. Because if we're realistic, in 10 to 12 days, their time in the UK, their English is going to have some improvement, but that's not the main focus of the trip. It's more about them learning how we live over here. It's more about understanding our schooling system, more about our culture. And you can only really get that from communicating and doing stuff with your host family. I think that's the most essential part of the entire trip. 能说一下昨天或者说这几天你们晚上去了哪里玩吗？
昨天晚上我们去滑冰，然后呢是和另一个伙伴 Isabel 一起，然后一起去滑冰场，然后呢我们5个人。
是你第一次去滑冰？Were they any good at ice skating?
No. At first they were like struggling, but then they got the hang of it.
还带我去溜冰，当我快要摔倒的时候，他总是扶我一把。
I think the favourite part is the ice skating because she learned something new she hadn't been before.
Did they get better?
Yeah, they got better.
滑得怎么样？
还好吧。
没有摔倒吧？
有啊。
As you know, in China, for a few decades, about 30 years, China had a family planning policy. And in urban China, usually most families would only have one child, which would mean that child does not have siblings. So it's a very, it's a very privileged life in the sense of they get a lot of resources, they get a lot of attention from the parents, grandparents and relatives, but they don't really have the same opportunity to share and to fight, even to fight with their siblings. So I think it's very invaluable for the Chinese children to come to the UK to stay with a family. Many of them would have maybe 2 or 3 children in the same family, or sometimes just one child. It doesn't really matter. It's that variety of family patterns that they get to see.
我觉得周二他们玩的那次机关枪，我觉得特别刺激。
We played a 2-team deathmatch, a 4-team deathmatch, and a free-for-all.
We're in teams and we had to shoot each other with lasers, and whoever had the most points won.
昨天我们去哪？利物浦。昨天我们去了利物浦。
Yesterday, we decided to take them into Liverpool for the day. Obviously, Liverpool's an iconic city for lots of reasons, and we walked them from school. We went up to the train station and we took them on the train. We got off in Liverpool and we walked to the Liverpool docks.
坐了摩天轮，去了一个博物馆，还坐了船，还去了一个商场。
昨天上午我和我的英国伙伴还有其他人一起去了泰坦尼克号博物馆，好玩。
I mean, Titanic is what most Chinese parents and kids, the first thing they think of the UK is one of them is definitely going to be the Titanic. So we wanted to go to the Maritime Museum and show them that. So there were some clothes in there and the kids were trying them on, which was really, really cool.
然后当摩天轮升到最高的时候，我们就往下看，感觉整个世界都不一样。
So that was a brilliant opportunity for them to see the city from a height and to see all the different landmarks as well, and their host child was able to point out to them all the different parts of Liverpool.
在轮船上面度过了一个美好的中午。
We had an absolute ball yesterday. They had a great day out. The performance at the end of the day was their farewell performance, and it's something that they were working up to all week. It's something that they knew was going to happen, so they've been practicing for it each day and every evening when they were at their host families.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are from Edunion China and have prepared a performance for you.
Today, they completely blew us away. I wasn't expecting for them to actually perform as well as what they did. They sang, they danced, they wrote calligraphy, and they gave us some lovely calligraphy at the end as well. And it was an opportunity for them to showcase to us their talents as well, and to really say goodbye and thank you for the week that they've had.
Personally, I'm taking away the knowledge that I've gained from spending time with colleagues who work within the same industry but in a very different culture and a very different country. And it's been fascinating for me as I reflect on the changes in our own system at the moment, the different ideas that lie further afield about how education could be viewed and different setups. And it gives us great opportunity to embrace different ideas that might be out there. So I've certainly learnt a lot about school leadership from the great colleagues that I've met from China.
的内容丰富，感受第一点。第二点感受呢，通过五共同的感受它这个我们这种交流的课程来说，或者内容来说，或者是实践来说，都是实实在在的。第一点是内容丰富，第二点就是很实实在在的进行的中英文化的学生的交流。学习或者课程的扎扎实实推进，共同学习，五共同使他们共同收获了，而且也共同成长了。我觉得就3个方面比较突出的，就5个共同得到了，这内容非常丰富。
It's a phenomenal experience. It's really exciting and it's extremely beneficial for the school. We're going to miss them loads. It's going to feel very weird in school without them here.
就是课堂里面的表现，还有就是寄宿家庭里面的表现，有一个很明显的好转。原来害羞、难为情的那一面，就突然间在2、3页之间就消失嘛，就直接没了。所以我觉得我们这个中国孩子到英国来，他们在前几天遇到的那些问题，不能完全归于语言不通。我还是觉得是缺乏自信，就是不知道如何与不同国家的人，不知道如何与不同国家的孩子去交流。那你可能在想，我怎么那么确定呢？其实很简单，因为到了第3天，谁也不会理我，他们就开始自理了嘛。 所以我觉得我们做的是一个特别有意义的事情，而且我深有感触的可以把这一切说是我的工作，所以我很自豪的可以说这个是我的工作。
我来英国之前不会用刀叉，然后他们就教我要这只手拿叉，这只手拿刀切。然后我还记得那一次，他们就笑得特别开心，我就觉得自己像个傻子一样来到英国了。
She's a new friend, and I think my whole family has been used to her in the house, so we will miss Evie.
你觉得 Isabel 和莫莉两个人去中国的时候，他们用得惯筷子吗？
应该用不惯吧，因为我们筷子它夹。我之前去幼儿园那些小学，然后看到他们那些小孩子使用筷子，哎呀笑都快笑岔气了，他们懂吧？
What are you gonna miss most?
I probably miss.
I don't know. I just miss them being around.
Having someone with me all the time.
I think she's a lovely girl. I think she's quite a character. I think I will be sad.
It's been lovely having her, and she seems to have fitted in brilliantly with her family. She's a lovely, polite, pleasant young person to have and be around.
Beth 的妈妈，谢谢你这几天对我的照顾，你对我很友好。我希望将来你可以来到中国，来到我居住的城市福州，然后呢，我很欢迎你来到这儿。
What do you think you're gonna miss most about Harry?
Probably his company. Because I'm a single child, I don't really get to play like games with someone else and stuff like that. So yeah, probably the company that I'm gonna miss the most.
他也很友好，而且很幽默，也是我一个非常好的朋友。
I will miss Beth and her family, and because they are kind to me, they help me everything in England.
I think it will be a lot different. Amy's really nice and she's very polite and she's good at English. We both like sports and chocolate.
Joanna 她也非常好，她对我很好。昨晚她送了我，在我离开这边之前，她送了我很多礼物。
因为她也跟我说，她把你当儿子看，自己儿子看。你觉得你回国以后会想他吗？
会。
想什么？
会想跟他在一起的每分每秒，他为我做过的事情，然后他为我那个操心过的事。
那如果是我呢？现在让你回国，那个英国妈妈派，想跟他说什么话呢？
他如果能够看得懂的话，那我就跟他说，我特别感谢他这1周以来的照顾，但是我怎么说，就是对他还是没办法，天下没有不散的宴席，我们必须得分开，但是我们有缘再相见吧。
我最大的收获是，在英国学校里面交到了很多新朋友。
我最大的收获应该是收获了他们家庭的温暖亲情，然后他们每次对我的那种关怀，然后我也特别感谢他们。
我会想的3件事是这里的学校、这里的人和这个家庭，寄宿家庭。
我会想英国的伙伴，还有英国的家庭，我希望他们来中国，再次见到他们。
或者你最喜欢的英文单词是哪个单词
？Love.
Love.
Yeah. I love my friend.
Friendship like that formed at this age, and I think it will be very, very influential for the rest of their lives. I can see they were already talking about, when can we see, when can I come to China, or when can you come back to the UK? And they will be meeting again.